It's Monday, it's 7:30. That means one thing. It's time for Mondays with Martin. Martin's Journey. Find out how I have been getting on this week and what I've been up to. Every week bringing you a fantastic topic, fun and facts, or just motivation and helpful advice. And remember, you can start your own weight loss journey with One-to-One Team Thomas. All you gotta do is get in touch. And let's not forget our tasty segment of the show. Two fantastic, tasty recipes, classics and new inventions made low calorie just for you by me, Chef Martin. So get yourselves nice and comfortable on your sofa, pen and paper ready to write down these recipes, all those hints and tips, because it is now time for Mondays with Martin. Yes, good evening everyone. Welcome to episode 38 of Mondays with Martin. Hope you are all very, very well. So we are... Martin's Journey. Well, I have maintained this week, so it's all I'll do. I'm happy with that. Vanessa has lost £1/4 pound, so she's doing well. Yay! Yes, it's working. There we go. Vanessa lost £1/4 pound this week, so at least there's no gains in the One-to-One Team Thomas household today. How has your week been? So we had manic gigs, band stuff, everything going on over the weekend. So absolutely busy as always. As you know, we always are. What have I got coming up for you tonight? Well, we have got a brilliant topic of the week. A bit more of like an advice topic for you guys this week. And that will be sorted next time you'll have the One-to-One Team Thomas thing there. But yes, we got a good helpful advice section on this week's topic of the week. And two absolutely delightful recipes that you really, really must go and try, guys. They are fantastic. And if you are already a client here with One-to-One Team Thomas, then the recipe card will be available from tomorrow in our Tasty Recipes meal group. So this week, coming up for me, I have a gig tomorrow night. I have 3 gigs over the weekend, so busy boy. A week on plan. I'll be mixing my plans up actually this week. I'll be doing a bit of step 1 and a little bit of step 3 this week, just to coincide with everything that's going on with how busy I am and that. So yeah, that's what's going on this week. Good evening, Charmaine, and welcome to episode 38. How are you? Hope you are well. So I fixed the intro. I managed to fix that stupid voiceover that it's now done. It sounds better, and I fixed the voiceovers, hopefully, fingers crossed, on everything else that I do on here. Don't forget, Charmaine, if your notifications aren't working and popping up, type !notify into the chat, and that should help you as well, going on our talk the other week. Anywho, how are we all doing? Don't forget as well, guys, if you are watching live, please pop in the comments below, #live, and if you are watching this a little bit later on because you couldn't quite make it to the live airing, then #replay, so that I know who's watching when they're watching. And that is for the same if you are over here on the red side over on YouTube. So, but without There we go. Look, exclamation notify 1-to-1 team time. You've already turned on live notifications. So it tells you that they're already turned on. But by doing that every now and then, periodically, it will just remind the Facebook algorithm that you want to know how long you want to know when we go live. Also, you can find out how long you've been following us on Facebook by typing exclamation followage into the chat. That is exclamation followage. Pop that into the chat, and that will tell you how long you've been following 1-to-1 Team Thomas here on Facebook. But there's lots you can do, lots. And I can even set up more, which I'm going to be looking into doing, so you would have stuff like, I don't know, exclamation contact, and it'll come up. 893 days. Charmaine has been following 1-to-1 Team Thomas for 893 days. There we go. So, but I'll get into that a little bit later on. But on to facts, fun, and advice, all here with your topic of the week. It worked. There we go. That's my big, hey, it worked. Right. Yes, your topic of the week this week, if this works, is 10 ways to reduce food waste. Now, one of the things that a lot of people say to me is healthy eating costs so much. And I disagree, and I have this conversation quite a lot with people. So it doesn't have to cost a lot. The thing is preparation and planning and not wasting food. A lot of people will buy fresh veg, fresh fruit, etc., but they won't use it all in a timely fashion, so we end up wasting a lot of food. So this week I thought I would come up with 10 ways to reduce food waste, and between the 29th of September, so in 4 days' time, it is actually International Day of Awareness of Food Loss and Waste. So just tying it in with this week, what is going on. So firstly, my first tip, keep it simple. Tasty, healthy meals don't have to be elaborate. Stick to seasonal ingredients and uncomplicated dishes that are quick and easy to prepare for maximum flavor with minimal effort. All right. So like try roasted butternut squash, on couscous, for argument's sake. You know, try and keep it seasonal. A celebration of seasonal squash, it's low in calories and it can be ready in literally just 20 minutes if you're using something like that. Don't always go as like there was someone I was talking to the other day that was saying the price of asparagus has gone up. Well, asparagus is now out of season. This is why you'll see a lot of restaurants using seasonal veg. Okay, it is a massive way of reducing food waste if you use it during the season. All right. Otherwise, you end up with stuff like if it's out of season here in Britain, you'll end up getting it imported or is warehouse grown. It's not as nice as fresh stuff. But yeah, keep it simple and don't try and overcomplicate things with too many ingredients, so you end up buying lots of ingredients that you're only going to use a small amount for one dish and then it gets wasted. If you do have any leftover food, donate the food. There's apps such as Olio and other apps that enables you to actually put out there that you have food available. Some people charge for it. Some people put free food available in this area. And the other thing with that specific app is if you have your location turned on, it doesn't matter where you are, it will spring up and say, oh, such and such has just become available. It is a good way of getting rid of excess fruit and veg that you have that may be coming towards its shelf life. And it might be good for you as well. You know, you see on there and you think, oh, what can I have? Oh, that'd be a good idea to use in, you know, oh, well, yes, we could have a cabbage tonight because someone's given it away, but or whatever. You know, donate it to your local food banks, anything that you've got that is coming short date. And I don't mean it's going out of date today, so I'm going to take it to the food bank, but there are loads of ways of donating your food and supporting local people. The other thing as well, and this one does get on my nerves a little bit with certain supermarkets, but embrace ugly. Embrace ugly. Fruit and veg are often discarded because they're not the most attractive on the shelf and no one picks them up. It's not only that, there are certain supermarkets that literally will not accept it from the manufacturer if it doesn't look a certain way. At the end of the day, an apple is an apple, a pear is a pear, a pepper is a pepper. Doesn't matter what it looks like if you're going to chop it up and chuck it in the pan. Doesn't matter what it looks like if you're going to eat it. Okay, so there's you can buy bags of like wonky carrots and stuff like that, but just if more people stopped being so fussy about what the food they're about to chop up and cook looked like, that would massively reduce the amount of waste, especially of what we have in the UK. Another thing to do, which a lot of people don't do, what do? You finish your dinner, you scrape your plate into the bin. Why not save your leftovers? Portion control as well, but save your leftovers. Dinner leftovers are among the most frequently thrown away foods. And chuck it in the bin. Just scrape your plate and put it in the dishwasher or whatever. Why not scrape that plate into a tub, into a Tupperware container or a plastic container, refrigerate it. You can either come back to it later when you're feeling a bit, you're feeling hungry again, or you can use it for tomorrow's lunch or whatever. Transfer them out of the hot pan dish, cool them thoroughly, ideally within 90 minutes. There are a lot of modern fridges now have a blast chill option. So long as you have cooled it down so that it is not steaming hot, stick it in your fridge, turn that blast chill on. If you don't have that facility, put it into a plastic dish and put it into some ice water. That will cool it down. You need to do it ideally in 90 minutes because it's keeping it out of what we call the danger zone, which is between 8 and 63 degrees. Between 8 and 63 degrees is the optimum thing for bacteria to multiply, is the optimum temperature for bacteria to multiply. So keep it out of that danger zone or keep it within that danger zone as quickly as you can. You can store this in the fridge and eat it within 2 days. Vegetarian stuff, you could probably keep and eat within 5 days. But don't throw those leftovers away. Save it. As your grandma used to, or maybe your parents used to. You'd have a Sunday roast. Everything else that wasn't used was saved, and you'd have bubble and squeak with cold meats the next day. Let's get back into some old school habits. Number 5 on my list is put waste to use. Okay, so recycle any food waste properly. All uneaten food, both raw and cooked, can usually be recycled, along with eggshells, pet food, tea bags, coffee grounds. If you live in an area that doesn't have a food recycling collection, you can start your own compost bin. Fruit, vegetable peelings are ideal, but avoid meat, fish, and cooked foods because they'll spoil and they'll attract pests. But you can use fruit, vegetables, and the peelings are ideal to go into a compost bin. There's not a lot of counties that are doing the food waste. Sorry, I didn't mean there's not a lot. Not every county does the food waste collection. All right. The other thing to do as well, so that when, support, especially being in Lincolnshire, support your local producers. Support local farmers. Buy local produce. Don't always rely on supermarkets for your produce because at the end of the day, supermarkets are going to bulk buy from a producer. If they're not necessarily going to be using Norfolk farmers or Lincolnshire farmers. So support your local. Buy local. Not only support small businesses and family farmers, but can also help combat carbon emissions linked to transportation. Alrighty. The next one I've got for you, and this is one that my mother-in-law has got into recently, is grow your own. And I got to say, my mother-in-law's cucumbers and tomatoes are absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely. Very flavorful. So grow your own produce is a great way to reconnect with food. Put your carbon footprint down and enjoy the benefits of being outdoors. So, there are lots of things, and there are lots of different ways to grow certain small patches. You can do it in tubs. You can even do it if you don't have a garden. You can still do a windowsill allotment, and you could grow small amounts and small quantities of your own to be able to use. Next I have is eat more grains and pulses. Try to eat more vegetarian meals based on pulses such as beans, peas, and lentils, or ancient grains like quinoa. Said it right this week. Not only are they more of a sustainable choice, but they're very good for you. They're very good in nutrient, proteins, minerals, and iron. But also, it reduces the waste down. Bulk your meals out with that rather than going over the top with meat. Bulk it out with grains and pulses. Okay. Number 9. Now, and I have a conversation with this with a lot of people. Buy only what you need. And I've recently had a conversation about why do you need to buy a huge bag of carrots if you know you're not going to use them? Okay, so just buy individual carrots, a couple of individual. And this goes back to supporting your local producers, your local farmers, because you could just go to the local greengrocer, buy a couple of carrots, just buy what you need at the time. They also, oh yeah, but they don't. The supermarkets don't always sell individual potatoes. They do. They just label them as baking potatoes or jacket potatoes. I used to work on a potato farm. Oh, lo and behold, yes, another string to my bow. Look, I used to work on a potato farm, and the only reason they're called baking potatoes is simply because of the size of them. They still come from the same potato family. Okay, so if you only need one potato, buy one potato. Don't buy a bag if you know that you're not going to use them all. And number 10 on my 10 ways to reduce food waste is choose sustainable fish. Now, this is a weird one, but I'm trying to get into a bit more fish stuff because I realise, as much as I'm not a massive fish fan, there are plenty of you out there. But to help keep fish populations afloat, opt for species that are more abundant and caught or farmed sustainably, rather than going for your posh end, high end. Why do certain fish become more expensive? Because they're harder to come by, because they are becoming rare, because we are overfishing them. So use sustainable fish like haddock, cod, just as a couple. For example, start using salmon dishes. Salmon is one of the most sustainably farmed fish in the UK. So use choose sustainable fish rather than trying to go for your fancy high end endangered stuff. Jackie, thank you very much for the stream like, and Charmaine, thank you very much for the stream like. And finally, on this section, the last little bit on this section on the topic is, did you know? So, did you know that researchers found that using a smaller plate can significantly help you to reduce food waste? So in one study, a 3 centimetre smaller plate led to a reduction in waste of up to 26%. And the reason this is because by using a smaller plate, you are going to be doing smaller portions. By then you will have better portion control, hence will buy less. You won't throw as much away. All righty. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is my topic of the week. Hope it was helpful and informative, and sure, not too long. That's what I'm going for on this. Not too long, nice and informative. Keep fish populations afloat. Did you like my pun? Did you? Weren't sure if you'd pick up on it or not. But so that is the topic. Just shop sensibly, prepare your food sensibly, prepare yourself. Actually sit down with your family, with your partner, whatever it is, and actually think, what do we want to eat this week? What meals do we want? Do you cook from recipes? Do you cook from recipe cards? If you do, think, right, what recipes are we going to make? Write your list. Only buy what you need to make those recipes. Cook them. And you're going to massively, massively reduce the amount of food waste, which is also going to help big style when it comes to your local farming and everything. Thank you very much, Charmaine, saying great topic. And support I'm going to say it again, but support your local farmers. No, most supermarkets do not sell individual, or they sell at stupid prices individually. Go to your local farmers market, go to your local greengrocer and buy local. Buy your local produce. Support local. All right? So that is my topic of the week. for this week. And so now we are going to move on to... And now time for some gorgeous and tasty recipes of the week. Recipe of the week. See, my voiceovers are so much better now. So this first recipe I've got for you is an absolute banger. It is gorgeous. It is fantastic. My little one, my daughter, she is loving me doing these recipes. She is trying so many new things now. I'm getting her involved with helping me cooking them as well. And it's increasing her palate and her choices for food rather than your standard 9-year-old kid that will live off of chicken nuggets. But here is my first recipe of the week. Alrighty then, guys. Here I have a nice and easy recipe for you all, whether you're a vegetarian or a meat lover. This is for steps 2 and above. This video is for... Something's gone horribly wrong. Hold on. I'll do this recipe first. I don't know what's gone wrong there. Alrighty then, guys. In this video, I got a fantastic veggie tikka masala for you. This serves 2 people on steps 4 and above, coming in at great 612 calories per person at less than £5 each. Really easy, 35 minutes to make. Let's get into it. Alrighty then, to make this absolutely delicious recipe, you are going to need 150 grams of basmati rice, 200 milliliters of coconut milk, 1 bell pepper roughly diced, 120 grams of peas, 2 tablespoons of tomato puree, 1 medium onion diced, half a teaspoon of chili flakes, 75 grams of creme fraiche, 75 grams of tikka paste, and 2 cloves of garlic finely chopped. So firstly, take your rice and give it a good rinse under cold water to remove the majority of the starch. You then want to grab yourselves a medium saucepan, add in 300 milliliters of water. Stir in the rice and 1/4 teaspoon of salt and bring this to the boil. Once it's boiling, reduce the heat to a medium heat and place a tight-fitting lid onto the pan and cook for 10 minutes. After the 10 minutes, remove the pan from the heat, leave it covered and set it aside for 10 minutes and the rice will continue to cook perfectly. And now for the curry. Get yourselves a nice big frying pan, get it nice and hot over a medium heat. Add in a few squirts of your low-cal spray and then throw in the onions and the pepper chunks and cook, stirring it occasionally until softened for 4 to 5 minutes. Once your peppers and onions have softened, add in the garlic, tikka paste and the tomato puree. Give it a good stir and cook this for a further minute. Next, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of our golden veg water flavouring, along with our coconut milk and creme fraiche. And a further 75 mils of cold water. Give this a good stir, bring it to the boil, and then reduce to a medium heat. Once the curry has started to simmer, cook this for around 3 to 4 minutes while stirring occasionally. Once the veg is cooked through and the curry has thickened, add in your peas, give it a good stir and simmer for a further 1 to 2 minutes to make sure they're piping hot all the way through. And then let's get this bad boy served up. So grab yourselves a nice warm plate, dish up half of the rice that we've cooked. Make a nice little well in the middle, a wall of rice to put our curry in. Then dish up half of the curry, and it's that simple. add a good pinch of chili flakes over the top for an extra bit of heat if you want to. Really easy to make. 35 minutes from prep to plate. Nice and delicious. 612 calories per person, less than £5 each on steps 4 and above. Go ahead and give this veggie tikka masala a try for yourselves. Leave me a comment down below on how you got on with it. And remember, guys, like, share, follow and subscribe for more tasty recipes from 1-to-1 Team Thomas. There we go. Absolutely gorgeous. Veggie tikka masala. And now, you could have that on step 3 if you divided it by 4 people, smaller portion, and you'll be coming in around about 397 calories. You could also add to the whole thing 2 chicken breasts diced up, make a chicken tikka masala. You'll be adding 360 calories in total. So if you had it between 2 people, then that's going to take that up to 792 calories per person. But if you serve it between 4 people, you can still use this on step 3, but you're going to be looking at around about 480 calories per person. And that'll be a chicken tikka one. But I thought I'd do a vegetarian dish because it's not very often that I do them. That little mishap earlier, yes, yum. It was delicious. Even Beanie loved it, and she's not a massive one for spice. She said it was a little bit spicy, but not too much, and she would definitely have it again. And Charmaine, that would be a brilliant one for Kyle. Get his teeth into that. He will love that one. Okay, so the recipe that I tried to do to begin with was my little mistake because I hadn't uploaded it onto here. So here is the recipe. I was going to do this as a lower step recipe for you guys. A bit of an Italian twist on this. Absolutely delicious. Check it out. Alrighty then, guys. Here we have an absolutely spectacular chorizo linguine in a creamy sauce with peas and a bit of rocket, coming in at just 391 calories per person, less than £3 per serving. On steps 3 and above, this recipe is for 4 people. 15 minutes from prep to plate. Absolutely delicious. Let's get into it. Alrighty, for this spectacular dish, you are going to need 180 grams of linguine or spaghetti, 60 grams of diced chorizo, 1 teaspoon of our golden veg water flavouring by Cambridge Weight Plan, 150 grams of low-fat creme fraiche, 120 grams of peas, 20 grams of grated hard Italian-style cheese like Parmesan or such like, 20 grams of wild rocket, and an extra 75 ml of water to make the sauce. So firstly, boil a kettle full of water, roughly 1.5 litres, and put this into a large saucepan with half a teaspoon of salt on a high heat. We're then going to add in the linguine just as the water starts to boil, and boil this for 12 minutes. Meanwhile, grab yourselves a large frying pan and over a medium to high heat, get this nice and hot. Add in a few squirts of your low-calorie spray to give it a nice layer. Then pop in your diced chorizo and fry this for 3 to 4 minutes. Once your chorizo has fried, we're going to add in our 1 teaspoon of golden veg water flavouring, along with the 150 grams of creme fraiche and the 75 ml of water. Give that a real good stir. Bring it to the boil, and then lower the heat and reduce this down to a simmer and let this cook out for 2 to 3 minutes. Next, we're going to add in the peas and our Italian cheese and give this a real good mix into the sauce and cook out for another 1 to 2 minutes to ensure that the peas are piping hot. Now your pasta should be cooked perfectly, so grab yourselves a colander or a sieve and drain all the water off of the pasta. Then add this into the sauce and give it a real thorough stir to make sure that all of this linguine or spaghetti is completely covered in the sauce. And now let's dish up this bad boy. So grab yourselves a nice warm plate or bowl, dish up a quarter of your linguine and sauce mix, whack a good pinch of rocket on top, and if you want to be extra fancy, a tiny drizzle of balsamic vinegar glaze. And there you have it, guys. 15 minutes from prep to plate at 391 calories per person, less than £3 per serving. Steps 3 and above. This recipe is for 4 people. Go ahead and give it a try for yourselves. Leave a comment down below on how you get on with it. And remember, guys, like, share, follow and subscribe for more tasty recipes from 1-to-1 Team Thomas. Another absolute banger of a meal. It is gorgeous, and I really, really do urge you to all go out there and try these recipes. Absolutely fantastic, low calorie. See, losing weight does not have to be about going without. Just give it a try. If there's any recipes out there that you want to try and you think these are high in calorie, give me a shout, send me a message, and I can do that recipe for you, and I can bring those calories down. I don't even necessarily have to do it as a video. If you just want a bit of advice on how to reduce the calories in some of your meals that you're liking, then just give me a shout. I can do that for you. I can see, we'll just see where we go. And it's just about tweaking the recipe a little bit. Remember, guys, using creme fraiche, always go for that low or zero fat creme fraiche. You really want to be using the less than 2% or 0% if you can get hold of it. Brilliant way of making creamy sauces without the use of cream. Give these a try, guys. I hope that you have enjoyed tonight's episode of Mondays with Martin. Join me again next week when I will have another fantastic topic for you guys. 2 more great recipes. Next week, I'm doing a fish recipe for you guys. Another fishy recipe for you. So be sure to tune in 7:30 next Monday for Mondays with Martin. I hope you enjoyed tonight's topic. I hope that was useful. I hope you have enjoyed seeing these recipes and you're going to go and try them for yourselves. Let me know how you got on with them. And remember, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, choose you, choose us, and together as one, we can make a healthier future. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all again next week.